Good afternoon and welcome every one of you to the second LinkedIn Live of Solving for India Together. Today we have a D2C founder joining us, Nikita Deshpande, co-founder and product head and chief of design at Ilana, a beauty and skincare brand that is safe for the skin, of course, and good to the planet and ethically produced. Nikita, thank you for joining us today.
My
and we would love
pleasure.
to hear from you your story of how you are building the brand and a business in the beauty space. And I'd let you introduce yourself for a couple of minutes, then we will dive into the session.
Absolutely. So glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And so I started the business around 4 years ago, and it was out of this very need of a brand that was sustainable, that was accountable for its actions, that was transparent at the same time. And we just went head right in. So I was just out of college. I had just finished my graduation project, and I was like filled with a lot of grit and a lot of dedication. I had to just work hard, make it happen, hustle. So this is what led to the beginning of Ilana. And yeah, we're here 4 years later, still going really strong and building a brand for ourselves.
That is wonderful, Ilana. What led you to and what inspired you to start this business straight of college? And I heard from you, you have done a program on design, right? You are at
Yes, I'm a
Srishti
product
from,
designer. Correct. I'm a
yes.
product
How did
designer
you
by
get into
profession.
beauty? What inspired you to start this particular business instead of something to do with design or,
Yeah, yeah. So I feel design is a very multi-utilitarian field where, sort of your brain is trained to do everything and anything. You can twist and turn your brain into having a design thinking sort of an approach, or, you can think that way in terms of any business.
Mhm.
My business roots sort of come from my family. Even my co-founder Amit, he has a very strong family background of business where so we sort of learned from our fathers, respective fathers, how to be in business, how to do things. Beauty is something that I feel like came very naturally to me as a kid. Also, I used to whip up some soaps together, make creams at home. All of
Huh.
that was something that was just in there. Getting into the technical terms and technicalities of what a beauty business needs to do, has to do, where to manufacture, how to formulate products. It took me some sort of a time because there was a huge learning curve behind it, getting the right manufacturers on board, getting the right processes on board, so getting the right team on board in order to help me formulate my products. So all of that took some time, but I think the main goal here was to talk about sustainability, and this beauty was just a channel to sort of voice my feelings for sustainability. And back then, around 3-4 years ago, there really lacked this. Now the space has become really very competitive, but back then there wasn't really a brand that was standing for all of these things. Even if there were just a couple. So I felt like I could do things differently, and yeah, that's what led to the start of Ilana.
Wonderful. That is great to hear from you, Nikita. It's been 4 years of Ilana in the market. How has the journey been for you? And what are your three key learnings that you would like to share with everyone participating and listening to your story here in Solving for India, Nikita?
Yes. So I think the journey has been nothing short of great and overwhelming, and just so much to learn. I mean, I started fresh, right? So I did not come with any sort of a experience in the industry. So that my learning curve is really high. So I would definitely urge people to, if they have time on their hand, and maybe they could get a little bit of an experience before going right into it. It will just prevent you from making the simplest of mistakes, because not every time can you come back from the mistakes that you have committed. So I feel like for us also the learning curve was really long, and COVID hit us right in the middle of. I mean, COVID came for a matter of 2 years. COVID was there. Although for the health and beauty industry it was a boon. Somewhere the manufacturing processes were hurt. Somewhere the company was hurt in that way, and being bootstrapped at the same time also meant that we were taking the hit on ourselves. So I feel like. the journey has definitely been great, but some of the key learnings would be that try and foresee what's coming your way, because especially in the digital world, things are very quick. You need to be able to predict that, and for that you need to go out, talk to people, get more learnings, get more views in. Don't be stuck up and stubborn with what you know and what you think you know. Go out, learn more, never be sort of uptight for learning more things, no matter how old you are, no matter how experienced you are, no matter where you come from. Always be open for that sort of a learning. I think always do have a contingency plan, where if something doesn't work out, it's really important to know what you do next, because more often than not what happens is you have two things parallelly going on, but then you're so hell-bent and concentrated on one thing because you know it's going to work out, that you don't put much effort in the other thing. But then this one thing, when it falls apart, you don't know what to do, and you've lost all of that time and energy. So might as well work on two things parallelly. And even again, that might be a learning in that would feed into each other's parallel running things, which might lead to something better in the future. So I think that, and being patient is a very important one. I have a long list, honestly. It's very hard to filter three, but so being patient is again very important. Not everything can be under your control, right? So you have to learn to let go a little and be patient about that. Things will come eventually. It's not like you will get everything overnight. So I think it's a process, and you need to trust the process. So yeah.
Wonderful. That is great to hear from you, Nikita. And many of our audience here who are aspiring entrepreneurs wanting to create a D2C brand or grow their D2C brand. So I come from the marketing and growth background, where I've built previous businesses, scaled them up, managed more than 150 crores in ad spends. But since you are a product expert and you have the design background, let's just go back to your ideation and PMF stage. When you started this business, what were the first few products you launched under the brand name Ilana, and how did you arrive at the product market fit and get your first initial, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 customers through whom you have validated this as a business model that you took upon and you pursued it for the last 4 years? So could you shed some light on your process of finding product market fit and the initial set of few products you launched in the markets with? Because some founders are thinking they have to hit the market with 100 products. Some founders are thinking all they need is 1 or 2 products. So what is the right fit there, and what is the right process, and how should they approach the PMF?
Yes, lot to say here as well, but I would start with saying that, Ilana just really had a humble beginning. We started with a small family loan, and I was right out of college, so I didn't know what to expect out of the business. Honestly, I did not go in with a business plan. I knew that I had my products on my side. I had a vision to sell, and I just went for it, right? So I wanted people to relate to my vision and invest in my brand and my products because I had a vision and they are believing in my vision. So that was the bigger card I was holding in my hand. The way I started, I knew very instantly that there is a pain point which the customers have, which I need to solve, but I don't know what it is. And for that, I need to go out and talk to people. So, before COVID, we had all of these sort of flea markets. I'm sure now they'll start up, like that trend is again coming in, where entrepreneurs can sort of showcase their products in these little markets. So 2018 is when we started, and we literally started from showcasing our products in these markets. And one of the team members, we were 3 of us, I remember, and one of them used to literally sit with a book and talk to people about their insights, about their pain points, about what is their beauty journey been like, what kind of products they use, what kind of brands do they use, what are they looking for. So all of these insights sort of paid into then into our product product ideation processes, product evolution processes. Even though we have formulated a product, doesn't mean you have hit the right spot. It's okay to evolve the product, reformulate it, get feedback from people, and then again look back at your formulations, your processes, and improvise on your design and your product as well. So I feel like that's very important for me. It was very evident to me that I needed to start small because, like I said, we did not go in with a business plan for 4.5 years ago. We did not know how we are going to carry out the business. But the reason why this made a lot of sense to us back then is because when people used the products, they really liked it. And there was a clear need of such products in the market that we sensed when we talked to the people. So I think this is what led us to sort of go the right way and create the products, launch them on our website. And then it was all about, we knew, say, okay, this is the digital era. We have to be in e-commerce. We have to be visible. So what do we do for visibility? Say we can be on marketplaces like there's Nykaa, there's Amazon, there's Flipkart. There are other smaller boutique stores that you can target where you can probably position your products there. So if somebody looks at a product...
How did you get started? Like, did you launch your products in your own website to start with, or did you start with all the marketplaces together?
So we launched on our website first because since I came from a design background, I was really, hell bent on having my own website and showing my products on my own platform. So I think that was really close to my heart. That's why I started with my own website. But at the same time, so, getting traffic initially to the website is the hard part, right? So we did have a period where there was not much organic traffic coming in because there was no awareness for the brand at that point. So we knew that we had to be visible in places where people are there. So that time offline activations were anyways going on, where we were part of these flea markets and exhibitions where we used to be present and sell our products. But along with that, we literally randomly used to shoot out 20 emails per day to all of these marketplaces, hoping someone would respond. And within 3 months, we were literally listed on some 10-15 of them because all of them were so, intrigued by the story of the brand and how young the founders were and the products being so interesting. So everybody wanted to list us. And that is where we knew that, there's a clear need, there's a clear interest. We're definitely doing something right. And we just stuck through that. We just continued doing what we were doing.
Wonderful. That is great. And when you launched Ilana, how many products did you start with, Nikita?
I think we started with a couple of them. To be precise, I think two products is what we started with. There were these 2 facial oils that they were very I had formulated them myself in my kitchen. And so those were the ones that we launched. We got an FDA license for those, and we went in the market with those 2 products, and then started formulating even more. So within a period of 6 months, we had a portfolio of around 8 to 10 products. But although, like I said, for us at that point in time, it was important to sort of talk about what we are doing, have a brand, have visibility out there. Product portfolio and building it was definitely a priority. But to begin with, we wanted to begin with at least something that we had. So like I said, we had a very humble beginning. So, we had to start with what we had. And those were the 2 products we started with.
Wonderful. That is great. And did you bootstrap the company with the funds that you had yourself, or did you raise any funding from your friends and family to start with? Because beauty is a business, you require capital to start with, get your initial set of customers. How did you manage that part?
Yes. So we started with a small loan from the family. My dad actually just lended us some money because I was right out of college. He's like, you want to do something? Here's okay, take whatever you need. And for the first 4 years, we have just survived on that little loan that we took from our family. So we haven't raised any funds post that. We have just been sustainable as a business, and we have grown very gradually, knowing what we are doing, where we're going wrong, what needs to be doubled down upon. So I think we have really sort of we have really just grown from there, and we haven't had the need to raise any funds in these last 4 years at least. So now we are definitely looking to raise a round of funding in this coming business year, because we feel like we really have everything figured out and we want to expand and grow big. So yeah.
That is wonderful, and my best wishes on your fundraising journey. And could
Thank
you
you.
share with us about your other co-founders and how you split your roles and responsibilities so that our viewers who are having multiple co-founders could know what individually they can focus on and how they can capitalize on their strengths, right? Because we
Yeah.
also have many single founders who are trying to pull things off, which gets very difficult and tiring in the process when they face inconsistencies and when they face roadblocks in the business that
Yeah.
they are running, right? Which is
Yeah.
natural for
Yeah.
any business. In this last
Yeah.
4
Yeah. Of
years,
course.
you yourself might have gone through multiple ups and downs and
Yeah.
to get to where you are today. So what is your advice on the founding team and choosing the right member for the founding team and then focusing on their core strengths and responsibilities, and also share with us about your other co-founders and what they do, how they complement your skill sets?
Yes. So exactly what you said, they are supposed to complement and sometimes also contradict you, because you cannot
Absolutely.
have somebody agreeing with you all the time. You need somebody who is sort of opposing your force, because otherwise, even if you're committing a mistake, you don't want a yes machine, right? You want them to have and put up a fight for everything that's happening wrong in the company to begin with. As long as co-founders are considered, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do this without a co-founder, simply because you have that sense of dependency in to begin with, and you're a little more relaxed. You have your mind space to do what you do and what you are good at. Even though that other person is not termed as a co-founder in the company, I feel like you definitely need like that one person that you can sort of depend on and has a vision similar to yours, so that because as a person it's really difficult to sort of do everything yourselves, no matter. And you also
Mhm.
have limitations as a human being. You cannot really work around the clock yet be productive at the same time. I mean, I'm sure people might be doing that, but from what I have seen and from what I have experienced, I feel like I'm definitely productive this way. For single founders, though, like I said, it's you maybe you can, because people are really the most important asset. You No matter how many co-founders are there, it's also very important to develop and build a very strong founding team since the beginning. Have a team of people that share your vision in the business, know where the business is going, and are ready to invest their time, effort, and energy right from the beginning. So I feel like we at Ilana have really been very lucky to sort of build that kind of a founding team in the business. We are a team of 12 right now, and all of them are really, really invested in the business. They know what the vision is, they know where we are going, they know what the bigger picture is today. And I think, yeah, people is what make a business eventually. And you need exactly these people to stick with you even when you go big. So I feel like having a founding team, even if you're the single founder in the company, having a strong founding team is definitely something that one should focus on.
It's wonderful. And who are your other co-founders? A quick introduction. And by the way, as we have multiple people joining us and listening to us live right now, I would like to have any one of your questions. If you would like to ask Nikita here, please post in the comments. We will get the question answered. She has built, along with a couple of co-founders, one of the successful D2C brands in the beauty and personal care space. And every one of you can visit the website at, I think, ilana.shop, right?
Yes. Yeah.
To know what are the products that she is doing and try those products out as well for yourself. And feel free to ask your questions here in LinkedIn Live. We will get that answered. Yes, Nikita,
Yes.
you can go back to answering about your other co-founders and what they do, how they assist. Yeah.
Yes. So we have we're the two of us in the company. We're two co-founders. His name is Amit Patil, and we were friends since childhood actually. So even when I began the business, the first 6 months when I was still in college, he was still in college. We were just doing exhibitions, and he was helping me out with, the things that we were doing. And he just realized that this is something that's of interest to him. And that's when we co-founded the business, the brand. He looks after entirely. So I'm the creative head in the company, where I look after the formulation, the R&D, and the brand side of it. But he solely takes care of all the executional level, operational level duties in the company, right from managing people in the company to marketing to business development to logistics to supply chain, everything. He heads the team. He heads a team of around 5 people in the company right now under him who take care of all of these things. Yeah, so this is how I think we also bifurcate our responsibilities in the company today.
Interesting. So Nikita, my next thing for you is, what is in shop for Ilana next? What's the plan for the next 12, 24 months?
Yeah. So, like I said, we would be raising a round of funding this year, and that means bigger things are definitely in store. We are looking to expand on our product portfolio to begin with. So, the Beatint, the Celestial Pop, the Sobbler, all of these products have been our bestsellers since the beginning. And we feel like there's this really untapped niche in the Indian market where exciting and clean beauty is still not tapped upon. So we really want to, by beauty, I mean makeup. So we really want to sort of look and focus on that section where we want to focus and grow our beauty portfolio, along with skincare, of course, because that is what we started with. And that's what we are good at doing as well. So we want to term ourselves as a skincare company, honestly, that that makes makeup, that makes good makeup, that is as good as skincare for you. So yeah, that is what is in store for us this year, and we definitely plan to expand our presence in offline, do a lot many more offline activations so that people also get to know us in person, get to try our products. So yes, all of that.
Wonderful. And I just had this question. With Nykaa's success and many beauty brands now in the market, what are the key metrics in your mind today when you design a product? Do you look at the uniqueness, or do you look at any global brands and take inspiration from them? Or do you just listen to your customers and then try to meet their expectation, developing your own product with your expertise?
Yeah, interesting question. Actually, it's quite a good question. I think with Nykaa being a success, and of course, like the amount of competition that's getting increased in this industry today, it's definitely hard to distinguish yourselves. But I think even before designing a product as a brand, we always try and distinguish ourselves upon what we do, what we say, what we stand for. So like I've been talking about transparency, ethical innovation. So, innovate in beauty, but do that ethically. Do that while you're not hurting the planet. And don't greenwash people while you're doing that. So I feel like it's extremely necessary to also be accountable and transparent at the same time, no matter what size of a company you are. While designing a product, I feel it's important to, yes, first understand what your customers want, what their pain points are, what their journey is. One of the major pain points that we realize in the industry today is the pain of navigation. So yes, there are a lot of there are a lot of competitors in the market, but it's at the same time really hard to navigate and make a choice of what you need and what you want. At Ilana, honestly, we try to definitely set ourselves apart with the kind of formulations that we bring in. We are known for launching trend-setting products in the market, like starting with our Beatint, with the Golden Hour, even something like the Dream Blush, that is our recent launches. We are literally launching trend-setting products that aren't sort of seen before. And then we sort of set that trend for the industry. So we have been really successful at launching such sort of innovative and trend-setting products, and we want to keep on doing that. And we always try and sort of distinguish ourselves in terms of packaging and design all along. So the customer utility of using, like the journey of using the product, like how can you simplify the utility of a product, is really important while keeping in mind the design of the product. And along with that, like I said, having really attractive packaging is also a very key metric in terms of design. So those are some of the things that we look at.
That's wonderful, Nikita. Nikita, we have Kaveri Basumati, who is asking us a question. In terms of new product development, what do you look at? What is the new product development process for you, and the sources of insights which you use to develop new products?
Okay. So when a market is this competitor heavy, I think the very first insight is to look at your competitors, look at their prices, look at the kind of USPs that they are offering, and then seeing to it whether that's enough in a product or can you do something differently. Can you add value by doing something differently? So I think those are the key things that you need to look at and need to start with. So competitor research and market research in terms of what are the trends, what are the things that are upcoming, what is something that, there are a lot of external factors that might affect a product's journey. So something like COVID, we were in a couple of years we were wearing masks, so there were a lot of products that came around those those kind of things that the mask was sort of affecting the skin in some way. Now because of SPF is a big trend, because the kind amount of sun exposure that we have for our skin is increasing. Blue light protection is one thing. So also looking at external trends for insights and inspiration is one thing while you're sort of formulating a product or designing a new product. And then again, coming back to talking to people, getting insights, getting real-time insights from people. Never shy away from having a conversation. No matter how boastful somebody's being, that's okay. Just listen to them. You don't really have to show them who you are. Just listen to them, get insights from people, go out, talk to people, have conversations. That's always going to help you to sort of gain more insights. So yeah, this is the sort of process that even we follow. And in terms of the strict R&D of a beauty product, I mean, it's a really long process, because there are a lot of processes involved, right from the stability testing to the quality control, like the management. Then you have to do a micro analysis of the amount of bacteria, fungal and bacterial molds that might be growing on the product, and how do you prevent those from happening? What kind of ingredients do you use in order to prevent that? Efficacy tests are there. So in terms of beauty, it's a whole set of processes that you would have to follow. But in terms of designing any product, I think the ones I mentioned before would be the ones.
Wonderful. What are your current top sources of customer acquisition, Nikita, and what are the retention rates that you experience as a brand?
So currently the top customer acquisition channels would be digital marketing strictly, which is Facebook, Instagram, Google. We have recently started we have a good presence on YouTube as well now. We have a very, very good social media presence, like right from Instagram to our LinkedIn to Pinterest to Twitter to Facebook. We try and be as active as possible. We have a community of around 50K followers on Instagram now. And, we try and have much more engaging content going on there, so that we're capturing more and more people in our on our profile who are interested in the products and the brand. And I think right now our customer retention is really good. It's at a 33% annually. And so, I mean, it's good because people are wanting to come back. Even Nykaa and Amazon is one of the places where sort of we have people falling into our funnels and discovering our brand. So that is also one of the channels where we are acquiring new customers.
Okay. So you would say like more than 50% of the customers are acquired through performance marketing in Instagram,
Yes.
Facebook,
Yeah,
as a channel, right? And how big the influencer marketing is for Ilana, and do you work with any large influencers, and how has that experience been for you?
yeah. So yes, definitely influencer marketing is something that works for sure. Like, even though people have their doubts, that I can say that with certainty. It's just about sort of collaborating with the right people who have the kind of audience that will eventually say buy from your brand, or would like or would connect with your brand. So there's a bit of a learning curve there as well. You need to experiment a little to sort of understand what kind of a niche or what kind of what level of an influencer would work for you. Excuse me. So we are also into doing a lot of PR activities with these influencers, where there's a lot of gifting involved. So influencer marketing comes in there as well. And yeah, in the past we have had many such little sort of activities where we have been sort of the gifting sponsors for somebody like a Rajasthan Royals in the 2020 IPL. We have
Interesting.
gotten, somebody like Vani Kapoor's, makeup artist also likes to use the beat tint on her. So there have been such instances where we've gotten featured in such things very organically. And then, yes, of course, we have collaborated with influencers also, like the top list influencers in the past as well. So yeah, those are the sort of activities that kind of keep going on.
Wonderful. Do you get your products manufactured by yourself in-house, Nikita, or is that outsourced and you do work with few contract manufacturers?
Yes, so we contract manufacture, and we manufacture in Satara. So it's a FDA registered factory where we sort of manufacture our products. The formulations are completely ours. So like I mentioned initially also, I have a team of R&D formulators, organic chemists, cosmetologists, who we are a team of 5 people right now who we basically sit and ideate all of these products, right from market research to the end goal, to the efficacy, to the micro stability, everything. And then those are manufactured in the factory.
Wonderful. That is great. And in the meantime, Nikita, if you have anything to ask with me or share something interesting, you may please feel free to go ahead. Let me open the LinkedIn to see what are the questions people have asked.
Yes. We pretty much spoke of everything. There's a lot to, it's really hard to filter down information when it comes to these things. It is very hard to put things in a short sentence per se. But even on my channel personally right now, it's my effort to sort of talk about all of these things, where I try and engage with my community as much as I can. I have a very, like a small following of 1,300 people, but all of them, it's a genuine following. So
that's not that small, actually. So,
okay. No, I mean, so people do want to engage, they do want to learn. And I'm really glad that this sort of an entrepreneurship wave is there in India right now, because it's such an exciting time for this generation to be in India and to sort of explore and do new things. So I feel like if anybody wants to reach out to me on my profile with any questions, with any suggestions or anything else, I would be very happy to engage.
That is so kind of you, Nikita. And in fact, I would like to thank you once again. We are not closing this right now. Just on a single invitation, she has volunteered to participate in this live session in LinkedIn.
My pleasure, because like I said, I really believe in spreading this sort of an awareness, where I would want to talk to more people. It's definitely something that I want to engage in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about helping each other and being there for all the founders together to build the community and make big business, right? Like, so
absolutely,
that is more collaboration that can benefit all of us than the competition that we face. The market is massive anyways, right? So we have Anita asking a question: what are the difficulties you have faced while building the brand, and what are the main roadblocks that you stuck upon, and how did you overcome that, Nikita?
I think one of the difficulties was definitely the pandemic, where like we were getting good response from people, where they were, people were sitting at home and sort of wanting to buy more. But what happened was we were unable to sort of manufacture during that period of the lockdown. And even then, when the restrictions sort of opened up, some of our products came under essential, some of them didn't. So then we also had a little bit of a lag over there. That was one of the difficulties, which sort of took a little time for us to overcome. Then it's also about sort of not having, so we experienced that, like the things that I said, having a prediction of the future, having a market research in place where you know what to expect. Because of the evolving market and the industry trends, it's a little difficult to sort of be ahead of yourselves and to constantly predict what's going to happen and then sort of tweak your strategy today. So that's one of the things that, as a business owner or as a business, that sort of we have faced as a challenge. But the way we sort of tackle them now is sort of try and always question our strategies, question ourselves as to, is this it? Are we missing a piece of the puzzle? Do we need something more? So I feel like it comes to you. Just be open to learning. Don't be stubborn on your ways, because even with this industry, for example, what happened is post the year 2020, the market suddenly started becoming very saturated, very crowded, because there were a lot of big players, plus the barrier to entry was really low, right? So it was easy to enter this industry, very very easily. It was possible to enter the beauty industry for brands, for the new startups. And that's why I feel like the market suddenly became really saturated, thus very competitive. And it was something that wasn't very predicted, so adjusting to that was also a challenge. So I feel like um, it took us some time to sort of realize that and then act upon it. But as long as you can predict these things, of course, I mean, we're not magicians to predict things, but like having a futuristic approach probably would be one of the things to focus on. Yeah, and I think if there's a particular if there's a particular problem that you're facing, I'd really be happy to answer that. But as of now, from the top of
No,
my
just
mind, I can
generally
just,
the top roadblocks that you have faced, Nikita. Nothing
yeah,
else.
these are the ones that I can think of right now.
Wonderful. That is great. And from my own experience, and I could see from Nikita's experience that she's sharing, it's all about perseverance and going through the phase of
Absolutely.
adversity and living through it without losing hope and getting disappointed, right? That is one part.
Yeah.
And secondly, as a new entrepreneur, you'll have to go through that first 6 month, 1 year, or even up to a period of 2 years until you hit that proper scale and product market fit to achieve a certain kind of a number, at which point in time it will start scaling and become a significant business. Until then, it has to
Yeah.
be a lot of hustle, and you have to put in a lot of hours and effort to work and connect with your customers, and be really there for your brand without feeling or thinking like, okay, you have this opportunity, that opportunity, because entrepreneurship is a long haul game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint race where you go and get paid immediately for your work that you do, right? And it
Absolutely.
exponentially compounds eventually in the long run for those who have this level of persistence and
Yes.
who goes for it with all their skin in the game, right? So
Yeah. No, that's why I said, right? Like, it's important to start small. I feel like, see, if you have the experience and if you're sure that you know what you're going to do, you have a very strong business plan, it's okay to go all in. But as long as you are sort of testing the waters, you don't know how it's going to be, how it's going to turn out, start small. It's okay. You have the time, and you will have the time to, experience things firsthand, correct your mistakes. It's not the end of the world, even though it's competitive out there. It's okay, take your time. It's better than just going all in and taking your operations to such a level that they are out of your control. So I feel like it's very important to start small.
absolutely. And lastly, do you have any resources in terms of books or material that entrepreneurs can access to understand the space of building products in the beauty and skincare space, Nikita?
Not particularly in the beauty and
Uh,
the skincare space, but one of the things that I started the business with is this model of disciplined entrepreneurship. So you can look it up. It's a 30-step model of how and what are the things that you sort of need to know before you go headway into your business. That is what I started with, and it's something that we learned in college, and then I took it up much more seriously because I actually had a tangible idea at disposal. So that is one of the things. And on YouTube, there's this one channel called The Future, FUTUR. So I think that is also one great resource for all design brand
so
related
disciplined
inspirations.
entrepreneurship. What's the book
Yeah.
name? Disciplined
No,
entrepreneurship.
it's a course. It's an online course. It's not a course actually. It's a book. The book is only called Disciplined Entrepreneurship. I'm forgetting the author right now. So it's a book, and it's
Okay,
an online workbook sort of a course. So
wonderful.
yeah.
That's great. I will figure that link and then post in the LinkedIn comments along with the Futures YouTube
Link.
page, right?
Yeah.
Like where
Yes.
entrepreneurs and people who want to make it big in the future would get information on the same. So
Yes.
on behalf of everyone participating in this live, I would like to once again thank you, Nikita, for spending this last 45 minutes with
Thank
us,
you. Thank you so
and
much.
wish you all the best for your fundraise efforts and taking Ilana to more and to more people and making it a household name in India and also in the whole world. So there is a huge wave of brands in India going abroad and making their mark.
Yes.
So my best wishes and look forward to keeping in touch, and
Thank
all the
you.
best.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. I had a lovely time. And like I said, if anybody wants to just get in touch, feel free to. I am always available. So,
Awesome.
yes.
Great.
All right.
We'll keep in
Thank you,
touch. Bye bye.
Vishnu. Yes. Bye bye.